Hey folks, how you doing? We're going to continue our series for newer wet shavers. This is going to be episode number 11, and this is going to be how to protect your shaving soap and care for it after use, and cream as well for that matter. Now this issue came to the forefront today on the Razor and Brush Facebook group. A gentleman by the name of Brian Lynch posted a photo where he found mold in one of his shaving soaps, and I'm going to talk to you about that and tell you how to get in front of that so it won't happen to you. But before I get to that, I want to thank all the viewers and supporters. Yesterday we hit 100,000 views, and I'm not a guy that counts views, but I noticed that, and it is a milestone, and it's thanks to you all. I say we hit it because we did this together, and I really appreciate it, and I hope you'll continue watching. Now on to the subject. First, let me give you a shot of that mold in the shaving soap. Take a look. So as you can see there's mold in that. It's hard to see, but it's mold according to Brian. And the reason that's there is most likely the soap got capped while it was still moist. And as you know, in any scenario where you trap moisture without the ability to air it out, you're going to have things susceptible to mold. Now, the first thing I need to say is this is not a problem with the soap. The Razor Rock Mutterfocker is not a bad soap. You can have that sort of scenario with virtually any shaving soap. So this is not a knock on that soap. First, let's talk about creams though. It's really easy to prevent mold scenarios in creams because you really don't need to put water in creams. You don't need to dip your wet brush in creams. Most creams suggest that you use an almond-sized portion. So simply either use your finger or whatever you want. Get a little bit of the cream out, put it on your brush and go. There's no need to stick a wet brush in your cream and introduce excessive moisture. Now creams have moisture in it anyway, but there's no need to add water to your cream. So it's really preventable with creams. Just don't put water in it. With soaps, there's another scenario because a lot of people like to bloom their soap, and that is put warm water on top of a shaving soap and allow it to soften up, which also allows the scent to bloom as well. I do that myself. How do you prevent that? Well, after you use your soap, you'll see that there's some leftover lather there. Now, we don't need that. Let's just get rid of that. So take a cloth or some substance that won't break down. A paper towel may not be the best, or toilet paper, because you can probably get residue in here. So take a cloth like this and just simply wipe the excess soap out of the jar and moisture. It's just that simple. Once you do that, after you get the extra lather out of there, you'll be down to the shaving soap that you started with, more or less. Just get it out of there and you have mostly soap left, not all that extra lather that you left in there. And simply leave this out, say during your work day, and allow it to dry. When you come home from work, check it out. If it appears to be moist, leave the cap off. Leave the cap off as long as it takes for this thing to air out. If you do that, you won't have any problem with mold in your soaps. I have never had a problem with mold in my soap since I started leaving the cap off. So I'm a morning shaver. I'll leave my cap off for 8 or 10 hours, no problem. Once you feel that this thing is completely dry, put the cap back on, store it, good to go. But again, 2 steps. Wipe that extra stuff out of there. Let it dry. Simple as that. It's really simple to avoid these type of things. Many of us have been guilty of storing a wet shaving soap. It's just not a good idea. And a lot of soap makers say you don't need to cap your soaps at all. For me, I keep my soaps in a soap drawer, so the caps really need to be on to store them. But I do ensure that they fully dry out. And if you do the same, most likely, you won't have any issues with mold, mildew, etc. So I hope this is helpful to you. Sorry, Brian, that you lost that great soap, but I'm sure you have plenty, so it's not a terrible loss, although at the same time it is, because I love that Mutterfocker shaving soap. Guys, again, dry them out. You'll have no problem. Hey guys, I almost forgot the featured wet shaver on YouTube segment. Today, I'm going to feature a very special wet shaver by the name of Anthony Esposito, the Stallion. The Stallion is a friend of mine. He's been a friend of mine for a while now. He does videos on straight razor shaving, and he does videos where he praises the Savile Row brush constantly. Nonetheless, it's very entertaining. He's got a great northern accent. He's a great guy. He's very enthusiastic about evangelizing for straight razor shaving. So if you're interested in straight razor shaving, give him a watch. I'm going to link his channel below in the comments. I'm going to add him to my featured channels on the right. Give him a watch, even if you're not interested in straight razor shaving. It's worth your time. He's a great guy. See ya.